So basically, in this webinar, we will make statements about features or tools under development, under active research. It's not a guarantee that some of those tools will become available in a certain time frame or will be put into production. So, okay, so let's step into the future with machine learning and AI. And the main point is that the machine learning AI-driven future is here. Today, we will introduce you to the Cvent AI suite. We are going to talk about features that are currently available, including recent releases, and some powerful capabilities of generative AI. Then we will have a Q&A session. Okay. Now, you have been seeing terms like these for a number of years: artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and so on, right? In our industry, we have been seeing articles like the role of AI and machine learning in event management. And then more recently, you started seeing things like how ChatGPT will impact the meetings and events industry. So welcome to the era of generative AI, right? And then in the last few weeks, you may have seen this. Cvent expands AI-powered suite of solutions with launch of AI Writing Assistant. If you haven't seen it before, you will see it today. So machine learning and AI used to be spoken of together with things like digital transformation, big data, data revolution, automation. All of that was coming, right? Well, it has come. The future is now. The AI landscape has gone through some ups and downs over the years, but now we are getting to a state of true productivity with AI. Okay, it's getting accessible to many more people and companies with a lower threshold of access. So today, my colleague Neil and I are going to speak about a set of AI-driven features in the Cvent AI suite, geared toward event planners and attendees. First, I will talk about features and tools that are already available, so things like personalized session recommendations, event recommendations, matchmaking. And then Neil is going to talk about a bunch of exciting features in the works. Of course, another place you are going to see the Cvent AI suite showcased is at Cvent Connect 2023, coming up in July in Las Vegas. Right? We will have an AI-focused session, and AI-driven tools and features will be demoed in the Innovation Pavilion. Please plan to attend either in person or virtually. Now, a major goal of this webinar is for us to learn from you as well as to inform you. We want to know what you think of our current set of AI-driven tools and what AI tools and automation will be most useful to you. You'll see a few quick polls popping up during the session. Please respond to them. We will also ask you a couple of questions verbally at the end and request that you answer them on the chat. And throughout the webinar, please feel free to ask questions via the Q&A feature and any questions that you have on the Cvent AI suite and really on any machine learning and AI in general, right? I'm an expert in that domain, and my colleague Neil is an expert on Cvent products. So between the two of us, we should be able to answer your questions. Very good. Now to jump into this, session recommendations. This is the most widely used feature in the Cvent AI suite. In events, especially in large and complex events, the attendee spends a lot of time just finding sessions that are relevant to them. And even then, they may not find the best sessions to attend in a given time slot. Our personalized session recommendations address that session discovery problem by showing callouts like these below the descriptions of some sessions. So attendees similar to you are interested in these sessions, or attendees with similar interests are interested in these sessions. So you may be asking, why would I trust Cvent to really know what's relevant to my attendees? Well, the way we make recommendations to an attendee is by looking at what sessions other attendees like them are enrolling for. And the way we identify attendees like them is by extracting features using machine learning from job titles and company names that the attendees have provided, and then using them to group all attendees in the event in a number of clusters. And then your recommended sessions are based on what attendees in your particular cluster are enrolling in. Pretty simple in concept, really, but powerful. Okay, now event recommendation. So on a contacts page in Salesforce, you see this event recommendation pane on the right side. Wouldn't it be great to know which of your upcoming events are specifically relevant to a contact? And that's what the event recommendations do. Based on the same firmographic clustering method that drives the session recommendation engine, it looks at which of your future events contacts like you are registering for. And if enough contacts like me have registered for an event, it identifies that event as being relevant to me. And then you have a good reason to send me an invite to that event. Of course, you have this feature available if your CRM is Salesforce and you're using the Cvent Salesforce app. Okay. Networking is a big reason why I would go to an event. But which attendees is it most useful for me to network with? Cvent AI's matchmaking engine addresses that problem. So on the attendee hub, the attendee would see a match pane like this on the top of the attendees page, and also a network match indicator against specific attendees. So that says match in green. They can then view the profiles of matched attendees, message them, or set up appointments, whatever they wish. Attendee matchmaking is driven by a different engine from session and event recommendations. We call it the interest engine. And how does that work? To put it simply, given my activities in an event, the interest engine builds up a view of my professional interests using machine learning. Currently, the activities we look at are session enrollment, exhibitor booth visits, and search keywords. Once my interest view in the event is built up, the AI looks at other attendees whose interests align with mine and shows me the closest matches. Pretty soon, the interest engine will also look at data provided by attendees, such as event-level interest tags. It will look at previously attended events, at downloaded content, and possibly more. Here's an example of how we might collect attendee interests in events in the future. So you, the planner, will have configured a bunch of interest tags for the event. And the attendee can select some of them on their Attendee Hub profile page under this things that interest me. By letting attendees tell us exactly what they're interested in, we can strengthen our recommendations. Now, you should see a poll asking whether you have used session recommendations or matchmaking in at least some of your events. Please take a moment to respond to the poll. Thank you. And next, my colleague Neil is going to talk to you about what's new in AI at Cvent. Neil.
All right. Thank you, Lashkar, for that rundown of all our great features in Cvent that we have today already. Okay, let's get started with what's new. So we're excited to announce our brand new AI writing assistant. Well, what is it? We've been hearing from planners that creating and configuring events is really time consuming. And planning teams, well, you guys just aren't specialized copywriters. So this is made possible because of all those breakthroughs in the AI language models that have come to market. So what we built is a new tool that we embedded across this event platform to help both planners and especially event marketers scale quickly and efficiently. And this also provides for consistent messaging, especially if you have multiple people on your staff. Okay, screenshots aren't always the most exciting, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to a demo for you to watch now. I'm going to take you through a quick demonstration of the Cvent AI Writing Assistant throughout the event management platform. We're going to get started as if we were a planner setting up an event for the first time. So here in event information, I'm going to scroll down. You're going to see the description box. Now, this is obviously a painful area where planners have to write out a lot of text to describe what the event's going to look like. And this might appear on the Flex website or in the event calendar, for example. Let's click the Writing Assistant button that appears below. Here, you'll see our widget appear, and you have some options. You have the tone and length. I'm going to leave it as a professional tone, but I'm going to switch it to verbose and rewrite this text. And this is probably the most common pattern we'll see, where planners just don't want to write a lot, and they want our writing assistant to give them a head start. So you can see here, it filled out several sentences, and we always recommend you proofread what's here, and then once you're ready, hit save, and it will load it back into the description, ready for your event, and you can move on. Now, this same description is also configurable at the session level. So here's an example of a demo here. And the same writing assistant appears for sessions. But let's go ahead and move on to the Flex site editor. So here in Flex, I've jumped us to the confirmation page where we have a generic text that says, congratulations, you're now registered. Well, that's not very interesting, so let's go ahead and rewrite that. Let's make it enthusiastic and verbose again. Give it a rewrite. And it's pulled it up. Great. So congratulations, you've successfully completed the registration process. We're thrilled to have you a member of our community. Looks good to me. Let's hit save and drop it in the widget. Now, this same widget also works on our other visual editor within the email editor. So I won't go through it again, but you can see this same technology works here. And the other cool thing is it will maintain the data tags if you run through it. And then finally, as part of this demo, I wanted to show you that it also works within Attendee Hub. So I've flipped over here to Attendee Hub on a custom page, one for dress code. And let's say this is a casual event where you can wear shorts and flip-flops. Let's pull up that writing assistant. Let's go enthusiastic again and verbose. Let's crank out some more text. Save me some time. I don't feel like writing up some more information about the dress code. And our writing assistant comes back with, oh my goodness, this is going to be the most amazing and fun-filled casual event that you've ever attended. Here we go. Save, and we're done. AI Writing Assistant is going to be available not only through the event management platform, but in many other areas throughout CSN. For RFPs, we're going to be adding it in exhibitor management, more places in Attendee Hub, and many more to come. All right, thanks all for watching.
All right, that wraps us up with the demo. So just as a reminder, some of the places that we've embedded this platform in are in the event description, session description, Flex editor, email editor, Attendee Hub custom pages, and so many more. And over the next few weeks, you'll see them rolling out. So this week, we have them coming into speaker bios and exhibitors. And as we build future features, you'll continue to see it in those places. All right, this tool is really a force multiplier for your event planning team, and we think it'll make them more efficient than ever. Let's talk about a few of the most common questions that come up about the AI Writing Assistant since we've released it a couple weeks ago. The first is, how much does this feature cost? And the answer is that this is included at no extra cost on our platform. Now, of course, if we introduce more advanced features in the future, those may be separate, but for the AI Writing Assistant, that is completely free for the platform. The second question is, do I need to opt in? And the answer is no. All accounts have access to this immediately, unless you have reached out to us and asked us to turn it off. If you do want to opt out, you can reference our frequently asked questions section on our website and reach out to our support teams to help that turn off for your account. And then lastly, one question is, will my inputs be used to improve the AI model? So this is largely around privacy. We have questions there. And the answer is no. So all of our results go through a third party that powers the AI, and that uses one fixed model. So we don't take any of your data and put it back into that model. We're just pulling from one existing data set. And your data will never become part of that model. Okay, and again, like I said, if you have more questions about privacy and security, please reference the URL below, and I think we're going to pop that into chat. All right, now you saw AI Writing Assistant, and you saw it have the ability to rewrite text, right? But we're not stopping at just that capability. So generative AI in general enables all kinds of new capabilities. So on the next few slides, I'm going to show you some of the things we're experimenting with to see how this technology could work for events. Now, generative AI is most useful when you have more data to work with. So just like before with the AI Writing Assistant, if you gave it more text to prompt with, the better result you would get back. So one area we're looking at here is video summarization. Because you're on this event platform, we know with virtual and hybrid events, our customers are generating just massive amounts of content, of video every day. And we have, old content from years past. So previously, we let AI write and extend that data, but it's really good at summarizing that data. So what we're going to do is for any existing videos, we can generate captions for that video, or if you have an existing VTT file, and then we'll be able to pull those captions in. Now we're experimenting with this. We're going to see how it goes, what the quality looks like. But it's really compelling, right? So this is my personal favorite use because you could pull in an hour-long video. and it can parse through that video and come up with categories and summarizations and basically come up with a nice teaser. So for me, what I like doing as I was experimenting with this is I could load in that hour-long video, it would read it through, and then it'd come up with like a hype track or hype little description, like a little teaser description on that video that we can load into Video Center or other areas in Cvent. So it's really great to be able to do that, and just with a click of a button, have it process and pull that video up. So we're experimenting with this now, and we're going to see how the quality looks. Okay, now it's not just good at generating paragraphs of text as a result, though. You've seen that with AI Writing Assistant and with the video summarization, but it's also really good at summarizing text and kind of categorizing that text. So, for example, those same subtitles we were just talking about before, we're experimenting with using them to create chapters for your videos. So just like if you're ever on YouTube or other video platforms and you're scrolling through and you can see the different kind of cut points of that video here, this tool can go through and kind of identify where the different topics have changed throughout the video. So again, this is experimental. We're looking to see how this does. But with all things, both the description and this, we always recommend you use this to give yourself a head start, to see how it goes, get you 80% of the way there, and then go through and manually edit it yourself. All right, so those are some of the experimental features we're looking at. We have many more we're looking at when it comes to generative AI and its other capabilities. We're just exploring those. Again, no promises that these will come to Cvent, but we're really excited about all of the potential. All right, with that, I'm going to hand us back to Lashkar here to go through any of the Q&A that you guys have from the chat. Thanks.
Thank you, Neil. So yeah, now we will answer some of your questions. But first, here's a question from us. What intelligent feature or features would you like to see from Cvent most? How could we help you save time? What are some of your largest pain points that we can address? Please write your answers in chat. We want to hear from you, so don't hold back. Meanwhile, let's look at some of the questions that came in during the session. Okay, very good. The first question, where can we find the email writing assistant? I'm not seeing mine. I think Neil is the best person to answer this.
Yeah, sure. I can take that one. So first thing would be to check with your account rep to make sure it is turned on for your account. If it's turned on, they can, it is free to turn on, make sure it's available. After that, the most common places where it would appear would be in that event description, in the session description, it's in the video description. So if you're not seeing it, it's almost certainly because it's just not enabled for your account for some various reason. Maybe someone else in your organization had it turned off. The other thing to note is that this is largely on the event management side of things right now. We have it a little bit in CSN and in some other areas still coming, but you're going to largely see this in the event management area. Okay, thanks. I guess the next one. All right, are you able to upload a company glossary to this feature? So the answer to that is no. We go through a third party to process this. So this is not in-house Cvent, an in-house Cvent model. This is sort of an industry standard model that we're processing through one of the industry leading partners. So there's not an equivalent of a whitelist. So I think what Jody is referencing is something like sometimes with like auto captions, you can provide glossaries of languages where when you're matching up text, it can kind of better match that. Now, we can look at that in the future when we provide auto captioning via Cvent or other third parties. So one way you can improve this is that if you do have captions or transcripts, for example, if you're using third party people that do subtitles, you can often upload whitelists or kind of like glossaries with those to have more accurate language matches. Okay, I can take this one. Is the data shared with AI Writing Assistant private and secure? So the answer is yes. We have opted out of all places where this can be shared with third parties other than the direct partner that we have engaged with. We do not provide data into their model. The other thing is, as of last week, we also do not log any data internally from Cvent. So we had an initial week of logs roughly where we were just making sure things were working properly. but we don't log that data either. So essentially, whatever data you provide AI Writing Assistant, it just comes back with some generative text from that, and we leave it at that. There's no saving of that data otherwise. Okay, let's see. What languages can the AI Writing Assistant handle? So there is not a fixed list of this. However, we found that it covers most of the languages in the Cvent ecosystem. Our partner doesn't specify the exact number of languages because it's sort of evolving over time as that large language model improves. But you'll find it works very well with our most common languages at Cvent: English, English, Spanish, Portuguese, all French, German, all of the kind of classics we have. But just like with all things, what I would recommend is as you prompt it with some initial text, take a look at the results and see how it performs. And you'll see that generally it will always come back with the language that you prompted it with. So I don't have an exact answer for you, but the high level answer is it's going to work with almost any language you put it into Cvent. We've seen it very successful. Okay. I think that wraps up our questions for this session. So thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate all of your time here. All right. And on your way out too, please remember to fill out any feedback you have and take our survey over here. Also, please don't forget to register for any other upcoming webinars that you'll see on June 21st, 28th. We have a lot more exciting things to share with you as we go. All right. Thanks for joining, everyone. We look forward to hearing more from you.